In short, chlorophyll plus sun, CO2, and phosphorus equals sugar and oxygen. Now, how does that work exactly? In the leaves of all plants, there are some pores called stomas, not to be confused with stromas. These pores pull air and water in and out. Air has CO2 in it. In the case of a drought, these pores close in order to keep as much water in as possible. And the plant suffocates. We're going to see what these do later, don't worry about them. Inside the leaves cells, in the chloroplasts, there is a main pigment called chlorophyll A. Okay, photosynthesis is divided in two phases. The light-dependent phase, that one needs light, and the dark phase, that doesn't. The chlorophyll is in these structures called photosystems 1 and 2. On top of them, they have cones called antenna complexes. Inside them, there are a lot of secondary pigments. These pigments absorb sunlight. Okay, but what's all of this for? Okay, this is going to get a bit harder to understand, but in short, chlorophyll has some magnesium in it. The magnesium uses the energy that it got from the sun in order to get rid of 2 electrons that go through a molecule chain in order to stick a single hydrogen atom to a thing called NADP. This came from the dark phase, we're going to see that later. Then a water molecule is disassembled in order to replace those electrons. This generates the energy needed to take some phosphorus out of the floor and stick it into some ADP to turn it into ATP. And then it gets sent to the dark phase. Okay, the dark phase takes place in the stromas, the part between the corona and the chloroplast's membrane. Here an enzyme called viscose takes some CO2 into this thing called ribose 5-phosphate, and that makes it very unstable, so it breaks into 2 molecules. Then some ADP and NADPH are using those molecules in order to make phosphoglyceraldehyde, and it doesn't do anything. This has to happen 6 times for those 2 molecules to turn to glucose. Actually, here in the part where nothing happens, the ribose 5-phosphate gets made again, and everything starts over. It's a cycle, the Calvin cycle.